It is true that many creative people fail to make mature personal relationships, and some are extremely isolated. It is also true that in some instances, trauma in the shape of early separation or bereavement has steered the potential creative person toward developing aspects of his personality which can find fulfillment in comparative isolation. But this does not mean that solitary, creative pursuits are themselves pathological. Avoidance behavior is a response designed to protect the infant from behavioral disorganization. If we transfer this concept to adult life, we can see that an avoidant infant might very well develop into a person whose principal need was to find some kind of meaning and order in life, which was not entirely or even chiefly dependent upon interpersonal relationships. Anthony Storr, Solitude, A Return to the Self.
Chris was thrilled to be on his way north, and he was relieved as well. Relieved that he had again evaded the impending threat of human intimacy or friendship, and all the messy emotional baggage that comes with it. He had fled the claustrophobic confines of his family. He'd successfully kept Jan Weirs and Wayne Westerberg at arm's length, flitting out of their lives before anything was expected of him, and now he had slipped painlessly out of Ron Franz's life as well.
Dear Corinne, lately I've been wondering why I felt so alone my whole life. My theory is that I began to distrust people and isolate myself after I found out all the lies that Watt filled their childhood with. How could someone have a family with two women at the exact same time and keep them in the dark? We were all shocked, surprised, and betrayed. How could I trust anybody after my own father kept the biggest secret of his life from us for years? This infuriates me, and it has caused me to become a lonely person, and I don't know how to change. Yours truly, Chris.
It is obvious that Chris's relationship with his family led to his decision to leave his life behind, and this topic was not up for discussion. Every time he met new people, the story of his life was very vague.
From the things he said, you could tell that something wasn't right between him and his family. But I don't like prying into other people's business, so I never asked about it.
Dear Corinne, I've been on the road for a while now. I feel like I've found people that are finally beginning to accept me and my lifestyle. I met this nice couple. They go by the names of Jan and Bob. I don't really like how motherly Jan is towards me, but Bob believes that I should be able to do and go wherever I please because I am a grown man. I'm glad I finally found acceptance from people who understand me. Yours truly, Chris.
Chris embarked on his journey to help heal his wounds and find his sense of belonging. But the more he traveled, the more he realized he does not know where he fits in or belongs.
Dear Corinne, I have been living with many people. First, I found a surrogate family in Carthage. However, I left and I'm not really sure why. I just didn't feel like I belonged completely, so I went back to the road for answers. A while later, I met a nice man named Franz. He was a good man, but he wanted too much affection, and I did not want to get attached to people. I did not belong in with him because we did not want the same things in life. I'm starting to question what is wrong with me because I cannot find a sense of belonging anywhere except for the wild. However, the more I stay in Alaska, the more I realize that it may be time that I assimilate back into society. Yours truly, Chris.
It can be interpreted to mean that he was ready perhaps to shed a little of the armor he wore around his heart, that upon returning to civilization, he intended to abandon the life of a solitary vagabond, stop running so hard from human intimacy, and become a member of the human community. But we will never know, because Dr. Zhivago was the last book Chris McCandless would ever read.
McCandless felt as if he didn't belong in society, and towards the end of his journey he made this realization. However, it was too late because soon after he realized he was trapped in the wild.
Dear Corinne, I am weak, and I don't think I'm going to make it. I know that people will think this is another suicide mission, but I was just trying to find my home, the place where I belong. I should have gone back sooner. I should have gone back when my adventure seemed to be fatal. I was arrogant, and now I don't think I'll see another day. I did want to come back someday and apologize after I found my home, but that day never came. I lie here on my deathbed, and I still am alone. I thought the road was my home, but I was wrong. I am deeply sorry for the pain I caused you. I had every intention of coming back. I just wanted answers. Answers about where I belonged, where my home was, and why I could never escape loneliness. I am sorry for my selfishness, Corinne. Yours truly, Chris.
2 years he walks the earth. No phone, no pool, no pets, no cigarettes. Ultimate freedom, an extremist, an aesthetic voyager whose home is the road.
And that tears are filled